This is the reality fact. It is because our ideological political line is wrong now. It has been proved in practice. Again, Mao has been proved correct in practice, in both of these aspects. Mao said that we developed a correct line, initiated war, and we were getting so many things. When we were initiating our war, that time we didn't have even a single 303 rifle with us, which was working. Old ones we had before. We used to just show our comrade, this is the rifle, and we have to do this way. It was only to instruct our cadres. But we had a correct ideological political line, that's why we acquired it. We built up army, we seized power in the countryside, and we were exercising power, and these oppressed nationalities were exercising their autonomous regions. We did it, we got it. We got all from the correctness of ideological political line. Now, we don't have. We don't have our people's power. Our People's Liberation Army has been basically dissolved in the name of integration. It is said integration, and some 6,500 Maoist combatants, as they say, will join the Nepal army, or there will be integration. It is being said integration, but in fact, it is not an integration at all. It is a surrender or capitulation, you can say, or a new recruitment in Nepal army of the trained fighters. That is the our fighters were trained, and they were about to defeat the Nepal army, but now Nepal army is recruiting our fighters, our comrades, as the new recruitments, and they are measuring their chests, they are measuring their heights, and maybe they are measuring some other things. I don't know what else are we doing. Anyway, what I mean from this is that the correctness or incorrectness of the ideological political life, besides everything what Mao has said has been proved very much correct again. And from this overall phenomena, we have, yes, temporarily, what we had again before doesn't exist with us now. That means a serious setback. But the revolutionary consciousness that the masses had acquired during the whole course of 10 years of People's War and the remaining periods of peaceful struggles also, that has not been diminished. That is still there. That potential is there. And the other thing is that the whole party has not gone to astray or has not gone to revisionism. And we are struggling there very seriously and strongly. And we have been developing our overall ideological political line, our understanding, and revolution is ahead, is going ahead. No, it is not. It has suffered a setback, it's true, but it has not been defeated completely. And there are possibilities, there are big possibilities that we can go further ahead and make the revolution a success in this continuity. I think it may take few years. That is another question. But this continuity will not be disrupted. It will go ahead.